Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to a fresh episode of TIM.TALKS. Now, again, as you know, we've been dropping videos back to back and then we've been doing reactions, we've been doing fresh videos and all that. But today we want to discuss something very, very important. And the topic for today that we're going to discuss between male and females, who has the most privileges at home, in society, at the workplace, in marriages, everywhere, between guys and girls, who has the most privileges. So my take on this is very, very simple. For me, I feel like females have the most privileges. Because a lot of things, I feel like all you need to do as a girl is just to be a girl. That's all. You don't have to do anything else to have any privilege you want to have. But as a guy, you have to really earn that being a guy. Like, it's very difficult being a guy. Or you have to earn it. You have to be the smartest person in the room. You have to be the funniest person in the room. You have to be the most educated person in the room. You just have to be the most of whatever category it is. But for a girl, all you have to do is just be a fine girl. That's it. So, my nigga, who do you think have the most privilege, man?
Okay, so this is obviously a very controversial topic, right?
True that.
So, I think we're just speaking in generalities, and when you do that, there's a tendency for a lot of things to get lost in translation. So let me see if I can approach it from a different perspective, right?
Okay.
So, for example, if you look at, say, Western countries or Western civilization, the privileges that women have in those places are different from the privileges that, for example, women would have in a traditional African society. So, I'll try to break it down in certain respects.
All right.
So, like, it doesn't just all, come across as, general statements that obviously a lot of people might agree or disagree with. So, for example, say right now for Nigeria, everybody deal on the Japa syndrome,
Okay.
Everybody's trying to get out of the country, right? You know how many stories we don't hear of guys we carry, like guys with Japa. So, so with this Japa gang, right?
Yeah.
With Japa syndrome going on and everything, you find people who like either have a partner, like a wife, a girlfriend, or something, and then they leave the country, and eventually when they get out there, they eventually bring their families with them, right? You know how many stories we don't see where like the woman will go there, and then she could take advantage of the existing laws,
Yeah.
where they exist for those countries, and then it becomes a problem for the guy,
I don't even know who write this law.
right? So in that sense, you would say women have a lot of privilege, right? But then if you go back to traditional African societies, there's also a whole lot of stories where you can see where, so for example, somebody gets married, lives with his wife, dies. Then the brother of the so-called, husband will literally throw the wife out the house, and her kids, and like some very crazy traditional practice that we have back home. So in that sense, you would say, well, you can argue that women don't have all the privilege,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So I think, all boils down to the context. At the end of the day, for me personally, it's like, what's really privilege, What do you define as privilege?
Okay.
Because obviously there's chivalry, right? If you and babe come out, the normal standard that say, okay, for Nigeria now, right, that the guy will pay.
Okay.
That's what we're used to.
Yeah.
But outside Nigeria,
Coming outside here, man.
it's normal
That
for
one
you
no
to
dey,
go anywhere. Like if you say, okay, hey babes, what are you up to? Let's go have dinner or something. Let's go. Even if like you initiate the conversation. When time reach now, everybody the run now.
Yeah, sure.
They go bring the bill. Person go check what's in your order. You go drop $20, 30. Everybody go pay their own. They go their way. No strings attached.
Yeah.
So, in that sense, it's like it's all relative. If you ask me, it's all relative. But then, if you want to talk in the general sense, then I can agree with you because obviously, this is saying that men are only loved in the condition that they can provide something, right? So, why woman will marry you?
Yeah.
If you know they're alright. What's the thing they say with women? When they ask women for the preference in men, it's like tall, dark, and handsome, right? Okay. So you want tall guy.
fit guy.
Where they, fit or dark, or
where fit, where in bank account,
where they handsome at the same time. Like, so,
bruh, it's like this thing not easy to come back.
All those things now, all those things. As I am now, like this now.
And the problem where they even babble me with all this base is based on, okay, now you are looking for this guy. When this guy, a guy who fits into that category now, first things first, this women want you to all. That's the problem. You get, like, if you ask a guy now, okay, what kind of a lady are you looking for? The guy will definitely tell you now, I'm looking for a very caring girl, very submissive girl. Of course, the physical looks could come into play.
You go Kongenya.
Yeah, you go Kong.
Shut up, man. Magneto, right?
Magneto now. You go Kongenya. Sabi cook, sabi pray, come still Kenya, So a couple guys will tell you what they define for woman. But for a lady know they specify you. Like, she wants everything. You know, there's an Oliver Twist there. Everything. She wants a guy who is tall, who is handsome, who is physically built, who is this, who's that. Bank account, of course, got the smile and all that. You get?
It go come get time.
It go cost you get time, and it go cost you the faithful to you. You don't go want anybody. You get me now? Now, okay, fine. So let's assume you get that kind of a guy. Oh, well, you know, this guy don't go through. Like, girls now, they go surgery now. Now they don't get nyash and all that surgery. But guy, man, for you to get the abs, for you to get the physique and all of that, bro, like, you put in the work, to go to the gym, do all of that.
I hear say guys they do liposuction now.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they get penile surgery where they do now. So
no, that one I don't think Gambo that one.
Yeah, no, very stupid people to do. But all of those things, you understand, they go still tell you say you get small dick energy and then all of those things. You get all of these things, 9 girls define. Now,
shout out Lalipo.
So where did these girls they bring come? You understand? Because when we're talking about what girls are bringing,
big energy, bro.
When we are talking about girls bringing things to the table, we're not even talking about your money. Because first is first, when girls make money, her money not her money. Now the guy money be our money. You get? So we're not even talking about that.
That's
so
a privilege that they have, right?
Exactly. So what do these girls bring? Just all the back in the day, we did like when we did secondary school and all of that, we did. If you see people we like, right? Okay, we went to boarding school and all that, but we go wait after classes now. Then we gotta escort the babe, go back and all of that. Now everybody knows, okay, this fine babe, they here. Now even if you go holiday and get one fine babe where they down the street, you know, say, boy, this fine babe they down the street. Now only those guys where they amongst you, now you go get access to you. With the advent of social media and all of that, guy, babe good day will, man, the nastiest of attitudes, no growth, nothing. Now she just be babe. She will just snap picture, put for internet, guy. Person will day the end of the earth, guy, go message this babe. Now she don't get access to all of that. How many guys just do on their own they get DMs from babes? You see how now, but babe, that you just exist as babe, and then everybody they come at you. So to me, man, girls get privileges where guys don't get, and the only privilege where girls they talk about is say, okay, man, if he married 2 wives, okay, man, if he do this, man, if he that's all it is.
But in what society though? That's the question. You get what I mean? Like in what society? You know, bro, in most advanced societies, you know, if you marry 2 wives at the same time. No?
That's the point now. You know, say this thing that how white man brainwashed the matter now. White man say
no, but even okay, I understand.
But white man say to marry polygamy na nonsense now.
No,
it's barbaric and all that. Now white man bring a come brainwash us for Africa.
No, but even the polygamy in ancient white civilizations, polygamy was the standard now.
I know.
Now one person start all this nonsense. Oh, they are all Victorian ideologies.
So now they gonna make us feel like say we Africans we know Greek come up from Israel. So right now we are still the polygamists, and then now that we get the problem. Yeah, so that's why most times you talk to girls, they say white man. You never talk to babes and you go tell you say now only African man do like this. White men do it. You don't date white man before first.
But because they don't sabi any babe will tell me that kind of because she don't know anything.
Yeah, of course, because you don't date any white man. You never even date any white man.
Obviously, you don't know your history, because if you do know your history, you know go tell me that rubbish.
You never date any white man.
Go ancient Rome, ancient Mesopotamia, the Ottoman Empire, all those so-called civilizations we've been get. There's no time in human history where monogamy has been a thing. Now, just recently, where this woman just come begin, and at the time, I think it was. I'm trying to remember exactly what that policy was about. I forget the details, but it was actually in response to something.
Yeah.
So no, let me explain. Yeah, now I remember.
Yeah.
So apparently, at the time, I mean, obviously, look, if you want to marry multiple wives, you need to be, wealthy, right?
Yeah,
you need to have a lot of resources for you to be able to do that.
Of course, you got to take care of them.
At the time, wars were fought. Basically, wars were fought and won on the premise of how many soldiers you could afford to lose. Military strategy today is different. Like, if you want to go fight war that year, the question was like, okay, how many soldiers can you afford to lose? So if you have an army of 10,000 and this guy's more soldiers than the entire strength of your army, then obviously that the odds are like, grossly not in your favor. So, anyways, fast forward to later years, people couldn't afford to marry anymore, and only the rich guys would get married. And they couldn't. Obviously, if you're rich, you don't want your kids to go to wars. You don't. You're obviously from the upper echelon of society. So what they would do then was to make a law that would make wives available for
the poor guys,
so that they can procreate and they could build armies and all that stuff. So that's where all of this comes from.
Yeah, the whole one man, one wife.
Whole one man, one wife thing. But it was never a policy
at all. So when I see people say it's a black man thing, it's a white man on it, that shit started not too long.
History, yeah. That's because they don't know. I mean, granted, it did come from a Western civilization, but the point I'm trying to make is like same Western civilizations had to come up with that law because obviously polygamy was normal for them.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with slavery. Like, you couldn't afford slaves if you didn't have money. So anyways, let's not even get.
Yeah, let's not even. Like, for me, I feel like being a guy is hard, and most of the privileges that girls complain about that guys have, just like we said, was the whole, or rather, is the whole having the liberty to get married to a lot of women and all that, which that does not really even happen much. You get, but as a guy, the places you go to now, as a guy, you have to really offer something.
Some
like
places,
everywhere.
But
you have to offer. But for a girl, even okay, like if you go to the club, so many clubs around the globe, guys have to pay to come in. Girls just come. As a girl, you're coming, right? A girl can go to the club and say, okay, a girl can go to the club without money and she'll have drinks and be okay and go home. But for a guy, if you go to the club without drinks, problem. And nobody's going to, how will I put that? Nobody's going to shame any girl for going to the club, sitting down without drink. As a matter of fact, they give girls drink now. Group of 6, group of 5, come, get one champagne, get one this, get one that. Exactly. But guys, if 4 guys go to the club and share a bottle of drink, then they go still taxi them join. Say why we guys just come, they cannot spend money, blah blah blah, all of those things. So all of these privileges, girls have these privileges. Yeah. So I don't know why girls will always be up about guys have privilege more than they do, and then all of that. Because even if not, okay, let's go back to even schooling and all that. Oh, we write jam, bro. They don't write you jams. So literally, for being a girl, you need 160. Being a guy, 180. Pay the same school fees, sit down for the same class, listen to the same lecturers, all of that. But then we write jam and you're saying for a girl have 160, for a guy have 180. Like, what other privilege again you need?
They will try to encourage women to go to school.
But that's a privilege. You see, I'm now.
Obviously, like the way I look at it, right? It all depends on the society, because say like you remember when we like this same thing you just brought up, right? So if you go to like northern Nigeria, where like obviously literacy rate among females is pretty low compared to other parts of the country. Well, I don't know what's going on right now, but generally speaking, at the time they were trying to encourage people to go to school, especially the disenfranchised group.
Yeah.
And then they ended up making it easier for them to get admissions and get into different courses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So all of this stuff is really relative, if you ask me. So if comparatively between Western cultures, between Nigerian cultures, I'd say like in a country like Nigeria, men have more privilege.
Why?
Women. So, for example, growing up, most households you go to, as a guy, they don't really emphasize, you doing chores. But for a girl, it's like, is this how you're going to behave when you go to your husband's house? That. So when we're kids growing up, it's the girls that want to, be having the kitchen, helping with cooking, helping with cleaning and all that stuff like that.
Yeah,
but the guys most times were outside just playing.
No, man.
In most places,
because I don't know, but
places,
like
the emphasis is on the girl when it comes to like
when it comes to
chores,
kitchen,
when it comes
to sweeping the parlor, all of those things.
but
For
what else
instance,
is there to be done in the house?
bruh, like guy, like the outside work that the guy go still do am now.
Which kind of outside work you talking about?
Yeah, to arrange grass for inside the house, and the guy go still run out.
If they live for
So
slap me and slap you, if they live for slap me and slap you, which grass you dey cut?
If you want run cutting for house, I see guys go do the cuttings now. Don't be the girl go do the cuttings.
So the
You
thing
understand?
is,
So they had the jobs that were like the chores that were there that were slightly mild. The girls go do them now. Which waiting it be? And to wash plate, cook food now. Hey, so they had things.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, come on, man. They had things that the guys go do them now. Who they go farm, go bring the food come house. But the guy go do them.
That's why.
Who they go hunt, they bring the. So if I go hunt, bring food come. I go fight antelope for bush, bring and come. Then for you to just put her inside pot, that problem.
So this is why I'm saying it all depends on the society. Do you get? It all depends on the society.
Now,
personally,
okay.
I think this is the problem.
Right.
As a global community, not just Africans or Westerners or whatever. As a
Mhm.
global community, I
Mhm.
feel like, we're all like we've lost it. Like we're crazy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Right? Why do I say that? There's nothing wrong with having, gender-defined roles. And I think
Absolutely.
the fundamental problem is that for some reason
Mhm.
we're trying to go from like gender-specific, situations to gender-fluid situations.
Mhm.
So now it's like I have pronouns, this, that, all that stuff. So the reality is, it's very, very hard for you to have gender-defined roles when we cannot even establish gender. You understand? one of the most interesting questions today is like, what's a woman, right? But I don't want to get into all of that. No, I'm just saying.
I get you.
I don't want to get into all of that. But I'm just saying, like, as a global community, we're moving away from the traditional, what you call the traditional roles that have been defined again by society. So now, is it right or is it wrong? It's all relative. Why?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, these roles are defined by society, right?
Right.
See, but when you're talking about privilege, I feel like, generally speaking, depending on what environment you find yourself in, there's an advantage to being male in the same way there's an advantage to being female.
Well,
right?
the point, the basic of the conversation is the fact that I feel that more advantages, to be the female. Yeah,
right.
that's
so,
it.
Agreed. I can agree with that. If you say there's more advantage to being a female,
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But then it all depends on where. Do you get what I mean?
So fine. So in what society do you feel like men have more privileges than women overall?
In the traditional African society, men have more privilege.
How? Why?
I already give you a few examples.
Like, I don't understand.
In most cultures today in Nigeria,
what is expected of a man in a contemporary African society is for the man to provide everything needed, from housing to feeding to clothing to whatever, protection and all that. So what's the role of the woman in that?
What's the role of a woman in a traditional African family?
Food on the table.
I'm talking with respect to like hierarchy.
Of course.
What's the place of a woman traditionally?
She's beneath the man.
That's my point.
But it has always been like that. Why? We have one head. The woman is supposed to be the leader?
No. I'm saying that if we're talking privilege,
it
all depends on the environment. And I'm trying to show you that in the traditional African society, the woman is seen as less than the man.
And that's how it is everywhere.
No, that's the point. That's not how it is. I just tell me where. Not be Jackpot. I just give you an example of the Jackpot gang now. People will carry somebody from Nigeria
to
UK.
Bruh, you see the problem.
The girl will just go make one phone call now. They will just come from your own house.
See, even the Jackpot gang, where they talk about, whoever made those laws and those things, I don't know what's enter their head where they make them. But for instance, now, if for any reason, a girl, definitely, in a normal nuclear family setting, a lady is number 2 to the head, right? Which is being the man.
Where?
Generally, that's what it is.
No, where?
Now, anywhere.
No, it's not everywhere.
Tell me where they're different now.
I don't give
where
for UK.
Even how when time come for divorce, when time come when they divorce, when time come when they divorce, when time come when they divorce, right? If time come to divorce, all of that will take place now. Their laws talk say, okay, the woman will carry the house where they live.
No, it's not even just what you don't necessarily have to be divorced. Like I'm telling you, practically, I know people personally will bring their wife come from Nigeria. The woman will report them and they fuck them. Yes, now.
So now in that situation, now who is the head? Now the woman can be the head of the family because of that.
Privilege. The woman has the privilege to be able to evict somebody from a house that is bought or paid for by this guy.
Yeah.
The house that she only just appeared as a result of his benevolence. Matter of fact, in that situation, the woman they exist on the visa of the guy.
I know now, but they get prenup.
Which prenup? They don't get prenup now.
You cannot get prenup.
No, they do. No.
Is this what I'm saying?
No.
So for any man,
listen.
Go ahead.
Listen. Prenup day.
Yeah.
But we're talking privilege.
No, that's my point, right? So now, in that kind of situation,
is not absolute. A lot of times, people sign prenups. If you know the way prenups work, right? Yes. Every term and condition inside that prenup must be pre-agreed upon by both parties.
That's my point. So in a sense, no, I don't even want to go into that bit because if for any reason whatsoever, right? I got marry woman, go UK for instance, and I know for a fact.
No, you did Nigeria.
I did Nigeria. I understand the setup. I did UK.
You decide to japa. Or you feel like you're in a position right now where you can afford to japa, and then you go first based on make I go see as the B.
Yeah.
Then you obviously, as a responsible man, decide to bring your family.
But they will talk about ourselves because these are the same things they talk now. Why they talk say women get privileged past men? No, you are saying in the African setting
in the society.
Yeah. Now even if now that makes sense,
right?
Because even if you want to cut it, even if you want to cut it down,
African society, what happens if divorce happen? And the woman they say, come and pack your things and go back to your father's house.
No, but to me, right? But to me, I feel like person where they provide everything needed, it is tougher on them now. So if I don't provide house, I don't provide food, I don't provide shelter, I don't provide comfort, I don't provide everything, I just go bring you come. You get more privilege, you will just enter. That me will get up. Because for a woman, all you need do, you go exist as a woman, man go marry you. But for a man, woman no go marry you if you know if you provide all of these things. And it takes time, it takes sweat, it takes everything to provide all of that.
Again.
Right? So to me, I feel like the woman get more privilege.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying that.
You say the African setup, women and men get privilege fast. Why?
And I give you how you want me to explain that.
You say in the African setup, so men get privilege pass.
Traditionally, right?
Yeah.
For example, if they do even something as simple as say like maybe masquerade won't come out or some things like that, they will say no, women are not allowed to see only men.
Yeah.
They go do normal initiation ceremony when you become an adult male. You carry you go consult with the gods or whatever, depending on whatever part of the country you come from, right? We have all of that. Anytime we get family meeting, women don't get place or say. You imagine now for your house as a firstborn,
right?
Where you be boy, or as long as you be boy. For the meeting, you in the pecking order, you higher than your mom. See, maybe your mom. See, you understand?
Okay.
So, like traditionally, we are a very patriarchal society in Africa, right? And those things come with a lot of privilege. Now, why you go see person with the go maltreat him wife, go abuse him wife, go cheat on him wife, go do all those things. At the end of the day, if you set, you go say pack your load, go your papa house, right? Now, in a different society, it's a different ball game altogether. So all I'm saying is that it's relative. I'm not saying that the privileges that you're talking about don't exist, but I'm saying it's all relative. It all depends on the individuals involved. It all depends on the society in which these incidents occur. But generally speaking, if you go Western African, women feel they do all these things what they do for the Europe and the Americas and all these places. But if you come Africa, most women are at the mercy they're literally left at the mercy of benevolence of the man that they're involved. If you get lucky and you get married to a nice guy who will treat you nice and take care of you, fine. But I've seen a lot of women that have been married to some very terrible people.
Yeah.
Where they mess them up. And at the end of the day, society does not protect those women. In fact, society will victimize you if you choose to divorce the man. A lot of times, when you see women where they suffer, they're suffering and smiling. Good day, your husband they beat you, this one, that one, all those things that happen. They will say, okay, leave this man now. They can't. Because society will vilify them. People in Africa, people blame women for divorce. Right? People, it's a common thing. People blame women for divorce. Your husband died. In village people will blame you, saying that you killed
your husband. Yeah, I get
all the things where the guy leave for you and your children, they will collect everything. You know? So that's why I'm saying like it's relative. Obviously, I understand, you know, and I agree with a lot of the things that you say with respect to the privileges that the women have, but it doesn't apply in every society. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't apply in every society. The same way we say this so-called male privilege apply in every society. You get one guy where you go Canada from Nigeria. It is still the Nigeria. He used the same mentality where you get. If you say him be chairman, he go Canada, he go lose guard now. The guy don't lose his job. The guy don't register now as a felony somebody. You know, so
but general, I don't know.
The society is different. Do you understand?
I feel you 100.
The society is different.
So
for Nigeria now, he go say get out. You know, all those things don't mean anything. But he no realize so. But in Canada, maybe because they see many Nigerians around, he say okay, we see the same Nigeria. They change out for the guy very, very.
I know,
quickly.
like all those things.
So I think it's just relative. Yeah.
All those things, man. I don't even know who come up with those laws, man. We like everybody can have whatever privileges they want to have. You get me? But generally speaking, I feel like ladies have a lot of privileges because, guy, I know it. Like, guy,
which privilege babes get for Nigeria?
Which privilege they don't get
for Nigeria?
Which privilege they don't get? I just tell you right now. The only thing we get okay, fine. When we did school, right? We did school, when we did ABU there, we did school, we did young and all of that. But you go meet baby, you go ask them. Most girls generally for Nigeria, if you meet them, ask them what they want to do. After they finish service, they won't marry. They don't know who they want to get married to, but
that's societal pressure now. As a society, that's the expectation.
No, you can look at it from that angle of saying that the expectation be there. But
that's the expectation.
I look at from the angle that the privilege where they get with that. Because as a guy, even if you say after service I won't marry, you know fit because you never stable.
Because you don't get the resources to marry.
That's my point. But as the babe, all she needs to do is exist as woman, enter the man's house. But so the babe now go enter the house, tell you say, now my house be this. The husband car we know you, and now my car be this. But the man, nothing you feel do. Nothing you feel do. You don't get that privilege.
But that's not your responsibility. Now you choose to marry the girl.
No, I'm not saying it's a problem.
No, I'm not.
I'm not saying it's a problem. As a matter of fact, I'm waiting babes supposed to do that. So my whole point is.
But if you want marry,
so now, for instance,
if you want marry as a guy now, you know go choose, you know go select wife.
She go select wife.
She just try now, small.
On what level? You know hard.
She just try small before you go marry.
No,
you don't marry any time.
You know hard.
I don't know hard.
Bruh, as I did now like this, the only thing what they find for woman, that woman way. Now they say this thing now more than they hear me. The only thing I need from woman now, right? That make she dey calm head, make she be woman. I don't want.
So you're Don Jazzy now.
I know, not be Don Jazzy.
Don Jazzy.
I don't want I just need babe we go listen to me. Now, of course, I'm not saying everything I say she go say yes to and all of that. No, we go get disagreements, all of that. But I just need woman we go listen to me. I need woman we no go fight me. I need woman we go understand. Say, Oga, there are some things I don't know. And if I get a woman with sabi and pass me, obviously I have to take the route of the woman and all of that. I'm not arguing that, But if I say, okay, this one I sabi am, at the end of the day, just accept. You can do your feminism outside in your workplace.
What more gonna talk about feminism?
Yeah, you can do your all that. You can do your boss babe attitude at your workplace, but when you come inside house, I'm first clear you now. But when you come inside house, right, you be my wife. You understand? Because many people go talk, say, oh, they watch people suffer, women suffer, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, my mom she try for herself as woman where she be. She walk, she go higher places. But anytime when she walk inside her house, she be wife to my P-man. You get me? So imagine where there's this clip that came out and then this girl was like, if she's just sitting down with a man, like they're just chilling. Like if, for instance, if the guy is outside doing the lawn or something, and then the guy tell her make him sandwich, fine, she can go and do it. But if they're sitting down together chilling, and the guy asks her go make sandwich, but maybe the guy go do get hand. Like, you understand what I'm saying? I don't feel married that kind of woman. Because even if me and you sit down, they watch Netflix and I say, Madam, I beg, are they hungry? Help me run this thing. You go stand up quietly, go do it. Because of everything what they provide for you. The problem now is, babes.
So that's an example of male privilege. You just give me a very good example.
No be example of male privilege. For me to get to the point to be able to do that, you know the work what I do. You think say if I don't get house, I go fit tell babes, say start or go cook for me. She don't go do am.
But a privilege.
Not be privilege. I hustle the hustle what I work for. So don't be privilege. I earned it. I earn am, bro. No, I earn am. No be privilege. Now based on say you know earn am, you get am. But this one I know you no be privilege. I earn am.
So woman will born for you.
Yeah.
They take care of your house, all those things. She no earn the privileges which they enjoy. You're only going to get married to a woman on the condition that she can do certain things for you. In most traditional African societies, if you marry a woman after 5 years, she's not born for you. They go, this one are banje, this one are
man.
You understand?
Okay.
That kind of thing. So there's an expectation.
Right.
Now, this is where, maybe we can find some common ground.
Okay.
The only issue that I have with all of this, shenanigans going on right now is that why do we want to move away from traditional roles?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah. Why? Because if it's my responsibility to provide everything, security, protection, financially, otherwise, if that's my responsibility, what's so crazy about you having a defined role that revolves around, taking care of the home or cooking and doing all that? And now, granted, if you want to have a career, if you want to, do whatever it is that you do in your spirit of empowerment, right? As long as that does not impede what the traditional, roles are for a female, that's fine by me. Now, see, this is where it now boils down to personal choice. So these are conversations that people should have before they get married to someone.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Right? So that we will know, make it not be like, say, okay, I just try to control you, or they try to put you in a box, so I'm trying to make you, be someone that you're not. This is what the problem is. In most cases, people are afraid to have these conversations. And that's what leads to all of these misunderstandings that then come across as, okay, no, this woman, I marry and keep for house.
Yeah.
What do you mean you marry and keep for house?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Or she go say, I deal with this guy when he no get anything. What do you mean you deal with this guy when he no get anything? So when I mean they chop that, you get my point. So it's all relative. But at the end of the day, for me, it's very simple. If you say privilege, it's almost like undermining whatever it is that these people bring to the table. That's the way I look at it. Not be privilege per se. Everybody get their role. Everybody get what they do. Obviously, in your roles, right? The challenges that you meet. So for a man, you guys go out there, you guys hustle, you guys make money, you guys provide for your family.
Yeah.
You guys compete with other men. You guys make sure so your family feel inferior. If you gather now, say we won't go come out, won't go chop, or won't go. If your guy pull up in a range, you're supposed to come through with your,
But that's what I'm saying.
Proud or something. You feel me? No, I'm just saying. But at the same time, say you get some people say if you go to their house, go chop. All of us, our guys, we know say, oh, but this guy might be cool.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So she said get her challenges. She has to compete with other wives. Maybe this guy wife get big nyash and nyash small. She has compete. No, that's true now. Everybody get pressure. No. Everybody get within the pressure.
Forget big nyash, guy.
No, I tell you the truth now.
I shoot box. Forget big nyash.
Oh, this one born twins. That one never born. This one. Everybody get pressure. You feel me? Everybody get pressure. So let us just stick to our gender.
At the end of the day,
define rules. Everybody play their own part. Stay in their
even
lane.
If you come out, even if we go there, okay. Now, even if you come out the whole family, nuclear family setting, guy, the society at large. I tell you now, I don't call you school. They get jam scores where women they get the woman go fail, but it's allowed, make she enter and all that. Yeah, like the whole jam. Oh boy, bro, it's been a minute now, so I can't remember. Yeah, but that year, like. If you have low jam scores as a lady, you go come through, go to society, go to clubs, they go allow you enter. You get normal now. If anything they happen now, they're weaker people, you get. This thing while they talk now, waiting if you pimp you. But of course, ladies are weaker, you get. So if anything happen, you go allow them pass now. Even if war come, they go say women go. Women and children go. Then the men, stay and fight. Those kind of stuff. Those that the privileges, what they talk about, say they get just for be. Guy, no, we don't born ourselves come this world now. So just for the mere fact that they bomb me as woman, if war day, they go push me, go safe zone. But just because they bomb me come this world as man, just for the fact that I be man, I guys go fight the fight. Whether I get the power or I don't get the power, I guys go fight the fight. When we day school that year, we get girls with the beat boys now. No, like, bruh, like, you know, bruh, like, talk to you. You get some girls who they propose on boys.
For where be that?
Bruh, every school for that Niger gets one particular girl when they beat boys. Yes,
that girl get trisomy of the short arm of chromosome 21.
He gets some babes.
No, she gets.
Bruh, but for real.
No, she gets. She get XXY. Do you?
Bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh, whatever it is, he gets some babes for each school.
Super female.
For each school where you go, there's that one girl where they change out for guys. Now,
we also you go mixed.
Yeah, I go mixed school now.
I go only boys.
So now why you don't know? There's always that one girl where they change out for guys. Now, some of the girls now even like they go they older a bit, they will just go and join up, you know, things like that. Though. But there's always that one girl.
Will beat boy for the same class?
It might not happen in the same set. Maybe it could be a junior set or elder set or something. But you can see them.
I'm saying like the two people, the girl and the boy, did the same set. The same.
Most of those girls,
they
don't even find trouble. I swear, they will just the boys will find that.
But they're older than the guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying now. Most times they're older now. But my point is, if fight come, say she dey strong past the boys, abi. That girl will just beat that boy. They'll carry the boy go fight. Allow the girl. So if the balance on the depositor, since you don't beat this boy, allow the boy go, you can't go fight the fight.
I think it's all about perspective.
It's a
privilege to be a man.
It's a privilege to be a man.
Yes, now that year, if they want to fight war where they can recruit you, it's a privilege for you to serve your country. It's a privilege for you to die for your country. It's a privilege for you to die for your country.
I didn't die for anybody.
If we go family meeting for my village now like this, we will do hierarchy. Women don't
follow the meeting.
You understand?
But now all of this
privilege for you.
All of this thing now.
When we make decisions as a family, when we make decisions as a society, most of those decisions they come from us. That's a privilege that we have, right?
See,
women are at the mercy. Look, you know the funny thing. A lot of times,
that's the reason why this statement when you talk now, women are the mercy of men, Abi.
Hold up. A lot of times, it's not exactly what you think I'm going to say. A lot of times, no, truly, a lot of times, when especially these so-called, feminists today, when they always talk these things and they give their reasons for feminism. For example, they will tell you, say, women, they define gender equality, women, they earn less than men, this, that, all this, and that. But if you get company and say traditionally women, they earn less than men, you employ only women now, right?
Go hire only women.
Go hire only women because it's cheaper for you.
And
all that stuff. So that's all that. So when they reason with all these people, they always make them understand, say, look, the problem that I have with all this, all this, whatever it is that you people think that bro, it's an oxymoron in itself.
Oh boy.
You understand? How do you say you're a feminist and everything that you're saying is moving away from your feminine nature, right? You want to be a feminist, okay, fine, but you want to work like a man, earn like a man, fight like a man,
be toxic like a man,
be misogynistic like a man, or whatever, all that stuff. But it's an oxymoron. It doesn't make any sense. If you want to be feminist, you should present yourself in the most feminine form you could ever possibly imagine.
That's the point. And once you do that, guy, you will get any man where you define.
Right, easily.
Easy. You don't need to hustle.
Right? So, but I'm not going to even get into the femininity.
For me,
it's a privilege. For me, it's a privilege to be a man. It's a privilege for me to stand firm. Say, we die here. You don't understand?
I understand all that. You know why all of this thing is a problem, man? Not all of this is a problem. I don't have a problem with doing all of these things for the lady. I actually don't have a problem.
No, nobody
I guess hustle.
So the point where I've been
the only problem now, why this whole thing they don't come up.
Most of these societies, now men they run out. And all these
men
laws they come up with, now still men they approve those laws.
Exactly.
So if really, men, their objective not to,
suppress women, they don't come up with those things now. Exactly. So me, that's my problem. So my problem is the fact
that to be a man.
My problem is the fact that these women.
I don't care whatever privilege women have.
My problem is the fact that these women they try and make them feel like men get more privileges than them, or before women know they make money. Now women are starting to make money, they're working, they're hustling for themselves and all of that. The problem now where they make them, they have this whole notion of whatever it is when they get is the motive for why they're making money. right? So for a lady now, lady they try make money. What's the reason? Make money, make man no go treat you anyhow. So once you have that notion in your head, say you're trying to make money, make man no treat you anyhow. Small thing like, babe, I beg, give me coffee, make I drink, or do this. Could be problem because you'll be like, say, you they send me to I go work, come back. You get me now? Yeah. So that motive for why they're making money becomes a problem. If not, not be anything now. Guy, you be my wife, you be my babe. Do this thing for me now. I provide everything where they here. Like you just be. But now, as long as, and that's another thing again, even with guys, like that, why would they talk about a guy? You have to provide because once they go that whole 50-50 route with babe, then you can't just expect them say, oh boy.
Not if you do 50-50 with
Then
woman,
you know if you expect
na
all of that.
partnership,
Yeah, na partnership,
you know,
no be.
You know, guys get. You know, they expect. This is the thing again. Like
Once
I
you
said,
do 50-50,
it's
like you
all
cannot
about-
expect that.
it's all
So
about-
that one is
it's all
just
about understanding
basic.
communication. As I am now like this, I want to be a house husband.
Once
You
you do
understand?
50-50 with
If
babe,
I
then that's
see
it. It's
woman
fine.
who
You
will
don't
do
feel on.
50-50 with me,
Yeah.
obviously there's expectations. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you expect person we go work run. So, for example, right,
Mm-hmm.
two doctors married,
Mm-hmm.
doctor and doctor Mrs.
Mm-hmm.
You run your 12-hour shifts, run
Yeah.
a 12-hour shift, 72-hour call, all that shit. You come back. You don't expect the woman to go there, that kitchen, go to cook. Very
Exactly.
practical guy. You know, see me, I like to cook. Normally.
Yeah.
Like
That one is normal.
So I have never, matter of fact, the reason why I learned how to cook was because I got tired of sitting around and waiting and praying that somebody daughter can make food for me. And this that since when I'm small.
Yeah,
You know,
you're
say,
your child.
my mom see and my sisters them, yeah. God bless them. So very good people, very wonderful cooks. But these people feel use 30 minutes till they garnish food. When I want chop, just give me the plate. Give it to me now. You understand? The thing they frustrate me that though, I go go kitchen more than 200 times. Food never done. You say remain 5 minutes. Okay, we go day. Food never done. Remain 5 minutes. I started with Indomie. When I discovered how to make 2-minute noodles, my life was changed forever. After some time, I come to fry egg joint. You reach one point, we'll come to do carrot. Cut carrot, yeah. Before you add for the... Oh, man, that's how my cooking experience started. Until this day, I can tell you, it's a thing of pride for me. Any woman I don't ever meet for my life, the first thing I try to do now to make sure, say, we do cooking competition.
Yeah,
so that I can prove to you that even if you decide to cook for me, it's a privilege that I allow you. If I cook for myself, my world standard,
babes get
privilege.
Wait, come. But first off, say why would we even argue that part? I just talk am now saying babes. Oh, okay, you were saying in the African culture. It depends. Because babes get privileges,
no
like
question.
Babes get
privileges,
man.
but then again, it depends on the society. Because I can tell you, like
Men
a lot
get
of people
privileges,
in African
man.
societies would argue that women don't have enough privileges, and the same way women for Western societies will argue say women don't get enough privilege, which to me is a fallacy.
Yeah, of course,
I
a fallacy.
I understand when people in African societies make that statement.
That girls don't have privileges.
Yeah, no, that men have more privileges.
But men have more
I
privileges.
can understand when people say, because I've seen a lot of abuse, I've seen a lot of people literally taking advantage of the way our society is set up.
And okay, now I understand where you're coming from, but I think that's where this whole thing has even gotten out of hand right now. Because like there was an abuse, right? Of course, there is still abuse, but like when you grow up in a family where you see so much abuse and all of that, you just feel like everything is an abuse. You get, because most of the divorce cases where we get right now, most of the reasons, like not be reason enough. You go see something now in an easy, something if you just sit down, you and your spouse, iron out. But because of that notion inside your head, say, nah, this is abuse. Bam! You don't turn divorce issue with that. You get trauma now. Yeah, you understand. Yeah. So when you don't trash all of those things out, then any small thing now go don't jump. Oh no, this is not abuse. This guy want abuse me. Nah, don't be abuse. As something where if you just sit down, you and your spouse, you can easily, because we come from different backgrounds. Yeah, everybody has whatever it is that they have, the traumas, all of that. So you sit down, you talk. This is what's going on. I don't like the way you are moving about this. I don't like the way you are moving about this. Okay, let's sit down. Let's trash this thing now. I go realize a very simple thing. But first, this social media thing said, any small thing, bam, don't come social media. Oh, come online in-laws.
The pros and cons of
of the,
No,
you
it's
know,
not be that, man.
you go come online in-laws, and then that whole thing just gets you messed up, you know.
Yeah.
But
Life is pretty simple, honestly. If you ask me, it's all about communication, man. As long as
Yeah.
you deal upfront about what you want,
mhm.
then it's very, very simple. As a man, you know, if you expect, say, your woman will be perfect all the time, the same
No,
way
no, it's not
as
possible.
a woman, you know, if you expect,
It's
say, your
not
man will be
possible.
perfect all
It's
the
not
time.
possible.
If you get privilege, exercise that privilege,
It's not possible.
but use it to our advantage.
You get
Don't use it and take, you know,
to my advantage to oppress you or
yeah, just
something.
yeah.
Nah,
So
nah,
the same way, like whatever advantages I have,
nah.
I'll use to my advantage. If they say men they make more money, the more money I make, the more money I give my wife.
Easy.
Do you understand?
I don't even understand why babes
The
they
more
move.
money I
I know,
make,
like
the
I know.
more money I
But
give
if I
my
for be
wife.
babe, just the same way they say you want to be
Don't
house
imagine say
husband.
I be-
If I be
yes,
babe,
now.
I go be housewife. I go
I
day
go
now.
dey
Should
my
I
day
take
now.
care of me? I'm okay.
Period. So
So why
imagine
go one
say
day
I
hustle
get
to
money
make?
like that
Come
today,
on, what the
then
hell?
somebody go dey tell me say I dey maltreat my wife. How?
Like for what
Why?
reason? Ah, nah, man,
Money
babes,
go
babes,
break-
babes. I don't
wait,
know,
Kaikos? Alright, cool. What you want? The jet?
man.
You know? Like it's very simple, man.
Babes, I don't know,
You
man.
get 1 billion for your account, your wife will complain about money. Why?
Why?
You know?
Why?
Why?
So
That's
really-
unheard of, man.
I really
I don't know how
get
some
it.
men do them. I know see there's some bad characters out there. but
Bad girl,
honestly,
but that's the point. Like,
honestly-
let's talk about the normal. Because if we talk about bad character, now I get guys where like they try for their babes, but they're just very crazy, you know. And they get babes.
shout out Obi Cubana. You know, see
Oh,
the
but
way Obi and the wife need to-
Obi and the wife they do well. Like you go see how
They do very
well.
well.
You say that problem. The guy they
You
put in the
understand?
work.
If
He
you
get
see
the
the
money.
way-
Waiting one man wife. Wait.
Bro,
Like
you see
so,
the way they look each other.
so
You see
now
the way she dey do her thing, in they doing thing, but anytime they come together, you see the way they did together. You will not say no. This is their mind rest. Why, bro? How can you be that guy and then your wife no would be happy? Then what's the point of making all that money? Why?
Talk.
You understand? I don't understand all those people.
That
who
they
say
see be
they
down now
want
because
to
guy
stay
go
with
go
their
out there
wife
go
and
make this money. Oh, the reason why they make
see,
money, I take care of the
what
family.
they call him, Ned Okonkwo. In my rest,
Mhm.
right? Regardless of whatever his situation is, anytime you see him with any of his wives, they are happy.
It's a nice situation.
No, like everybody they want things
All
go
his-
based on how
All
they,
his wives are happy.
they
man.
want all the times why I
They're all
don't see
happy.
them. And
They're
also
happy.
Oshomole traveled all the way to Shiba and
Eh,
married somebody.
They're all
Eh?
happy.
The day, no be problem. Why you get money, your wife no go happy.
No go
Most
happy,
men
yeah.
hustle out there to make
Just
money
make
just
their,
to impress a woman.
make their woman do.
Just to
Okay.
impress. If I tell you what I do,
No, that one.
If I tell you everything I do,
all everybody got a story.
eh? If I tell you everything I do,
When
on
the
top
change,
woman matter,
when change never even enter large.
I will never get too quiet.
When change never enter large, you go see the down on top.
You understand?
You go still
You go day like this, you go collect money, you go starve. So no,
This babe guys, they alright.
this.
Now the
this-
privileges where me
this
and they
waka,
come from be that
eh?
now.
No,
You
but,
know,
but
babe
you
could
do
just they just get
but you
everything
do-
just because she be babe. She could
no,
just
no,
get
no,
everything.
no, not just because she be babe now. Because she be babe who you like.
Bruh.
Not be every babe you dey carry
Bruh,
around, you
calm
go give
down. Calm down.
I'm calm.
So you go see babe
calm.
now. You go see babe now with 20 guys like 20 of them they treat her like babe what I like.
No, not possible.
You say what again?
No possible.
Okay, I hear you.
What do
well.
you mean? Say, why I go to argue with 20 guys on top one babe?
You know they argue, you don't know.
How you not gonna know?
But you don't know there's another guy there now.
No.
She never accept for you now. Even babe when they toast, you will give her something.
No. We don't do that.
Babe when they toast, you don't give her anything.
Why?
You don't go buy her food.
That no be something why they give her.
Now free food you give her.
No.
So now,
no.
brah, when how much be dinner now?
If I want to go chop, I feel
How
invite
much?
you. You cannot. The money I
Look at this guy.
No, that's true now.
So if you want go, so if you want go,
chop steak right now.
more
right
don't
now.
even use this level. More don't even use China
More use
standard.
Naija.
More use Nigeria standard. So if you want come on, I'll go Chinese restaurant now. Here now we'll go Chinese
Naija?
restaurant. We'll go there all right now.
Why?
If you want go, thank you. If you want go Nigeria now, you want go Chinese restaurant
I
now.
don't even know how much it's selling for Chinese restaurant.
It go large. Because back in the day, it had been large. So now everything does
Okay,
I don't
so
know how
for
much
example
it be
now,
now.
if you
But
go-
more even leave average restaurant where you go spend like maybe 30 to 50K
Mm.
to just chow a meal, right?
But you'll be like,
Now-
now, they go chow with my guy though.
Now they go there every day, they go chow.
Why
Right?
we go there every day?
And they give it. But fine, why you know we go there every day?
Because I can cook. I'm a good cook. Bro.
Yeah, fine, but the babe now, no worry.
The
She
babe?
dey tired and
She
every
dey
day,
tired.
every day person go there will carry and go there go chow. She go save all the food.
I'm proud of
Privilege.
her. Only
That's
one time it
privilege
takes.
now.
Only one time it takes
To
to identify, bro. Not for you. This thing not be
No.
rocket science now.
my point
If you
is,
say me, I go to carry babe, they go
You,
restaurant
no,
every
and I
day.
don't mean one person. Now that's what I'm saying.
How many people are going to carry go to the
No, you go carry the same babe.
restaurant? One
Go.
time only.
You know what, Abi? Tomorrow.
Another person will carry her go.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, how many times you go to that restaurant before she ends up at 35 years old, single and wretched?
No. Don't be that one at the talk.
No, not the same thing we talk.
Babe go get boyfriend, get husband. Go still tell the husband the boyfriend. Now just lunch. Then she go chat.
So you will they follow person wife and person girlfriend. Is that not your problem?
No, person girlfriend.
You say she
For
will
the
get
streets,
babe.
no.
She go... So you collect person babe.
Person girlfriend are for the street. Guy, they don't collect my babe before. Now I don't collect person babe. Is he married?
Me, I don't like competition. I don't like competition.
You're always in competition. That's the problem.
No, I am.
Because your own babe when your babe, person still dey follow on outside.
No, that's where we differ. I will leave you in that moment. I will leave you.
That's the you. How you want to know? Say person
No,
follow.
No. That means I don't like the girl. If I don't know, I mean I don't like the girl. But you cannot play me. I'm the game.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Like what this guy? Look at shift. Look at this guy. You know, they always play 10 even no say be the game. Look at this guy. Okay, back where? Look at this guy, babe. I beg. Comment section. More answer. This like
in my youthful prime, like this. You cannot play me. I'm literally the ball. Let me be the chess ball.
Don't worry.
But you get some things.
They go play you.
No. See, this is the difference, right? You have to be able to set standards for yourselves. And this is another very interesting topic, actually. Maybe we should explore it. I don't know, maybe right now or on some other video. But say a lot of times, right? People they always feel say, let me see, how do I put this now? Oh shit, I lost my train of thought, but I'll come back to it.
Right.
I promise you, I'll come back to it. What did you talk first? What did you talk last time?
About the fact that different guys will deal with it, but you said
remember. So this is the thing. Why is it that women have a standard, right? And it's okay. Everybody feels like it's okay for women to have a standard, right? But the moment a man comes out and says he has a standard, people have a problem with it. See, I'm not that kind of person.
Right.
I did very, very deliberate about anything I did when it comes to the opposite sex. Very deliberate. I did very specific. I did very, very intentional. Bro, I need to play them type games. You know how a person would do? You know. She know say you know. You know say she know say you know. But on a two would play then like say when I don't know to the part. Like it doesn't make any sense to me, bro. It's so easy to tell, man. So easy to tell. You and babe, you don't know her schedule. That's rubbish. Okay, you know her schedule. You know say she's supposed to date this place or supposed to be available or supposed this one, that one, that. Then you control her and she know they respond. That's rubbish. This, there's so many. No, it's very simple.
Yeah, you don't cheat on anybody before.
Me? No, why?
He said no, why?
Yes, now why?
Because if you don't cheat on anybody before and she don't know, it's the same thing where you think that you do.
No, I don't play them type games.
That's the point now. But what I'm trying to let you understand is this. The difference with babes and guys based on this whole standard thing are based on say girls know they necessarily sleep with girls know they necessarily sleep with other guys if they're sleeping with somebody. Biologically, like if the girl is sleeping with one guy, she wants to just sleep with that one guy. Now, a girl's affection is attention from other guys. That's what she needs. Just attention. Like girl just they make 20 guys, just the DM am now, this one, that. That one don't cure her, contribute that to.
But you don't get crushed before.
If I don't get crushed before. Yeah, of course I don't get crushed before.
So you know how you go get crushed? Maybe say you want to text them all the time, you want to hear from them every time, you want to do. So I'm a very inquisitive guy. This point, at least you know this much, bro. 90% of the time, if I ask you a question, I know the answer before I ask you. I just want to confirm them.
That's the point. Now.
No.
But you feel they wrong.
Woman, if you play any games that you want to play, but for me, no work. You know why? Because I did very, very specific about what I want. For example, good day, simple things like this. So you don't mean anything. No. After what did they do today? Now they go work. Which time they finish work? 4 p.m. Wait, chill. Simple things like that. Very, very simple things like that. Not be problem, not be quarrel, not be fight. Something might come up, something might happen. But your schedule change by 1 minute, by 2 minutes, by 5 minutes, or whatever. Yeah, I don't really. For my mind, okay. Let's say really your schedule change.
Yeah.
But we don't already agree. So we meet after work by 4 p.m. the instant,
Mhm.
the moment that came up,
Mhm.
the first thing on your mind should be like, man, I already agreed to meet Brian at this time, right?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Text or call or whatever.
Mhm.
Make sure they know as it goes.
Mhm.
Like real time, online, real
Yeah.
time. Nobody want. So, but like, if you're not that much of a priority to have, because it's the same thing that I would do.
Mhm.
If me and you day now like this, I don't really tell my babe, say, oh boy, after class or after this one, after lecture or finish from hospital or whatever, would you go this one or go that one? Then you can say more go shall be, or more go do this one. Why you? What do you mean by that?
This
What do you mean
nigga,
by that?
you don't lie.
Which part be lie?
Is your lie?
Which part be lie?
Is your lie?
Wait, which part be lie?
So you go tell your babe wetin?
I go let my babe know say I won't follow you go somewhere. What's happen? Wait, why they say that? Like, which part be
You
lie?
don't lie.
How?
You know me that you don't leave me for babe.
Eh?
I will not forgive you.
No,
You know me
no, wait.
When me and I don't plan me, once the day just make
No,
it
that's
back,
a, no,
tell
a
me.
different dynamic now.
How?
I say if me and her plan and you
And they
up
say,
and something happens.
if me
and you plan and she hit me up, of course it's priority number one.
That's what I'm saying. So how can it be that you and her plan, then me, I will change that plan?
No, it makes sense that way because no, chill. It makes more sense that way.
Explain.
She's my babe.
Okay.
Supposed to understand. Because she knows that I will take her as priority at all times. So if I feel the need to notify her and tell her I got go do something with you later on, she will understand say it's important to me now why I even mention her. Because like you said, ordinarily, I thank God that you even drink her more. No, ordinarily, if I deal with babe, bro, she's my priority.
Yeah, as it should be.
All my guys know that one. If me and you the day normally they hang out, they chill every day. I can't get babe now, and you no go see me again. Yes, that's a fact. All my guys know that one. But if
As
for
it should
any
be.
reason, but if for any reason, no, not true.
As
If
it
for
should
any
be.
reason, yeah, I be cancer, man.
As it should be,
but
bruh.
if for any reason,
Me I be middle cancer. Don't worry, I did the middle, so don't worry. As it should be. But
if for any reason, something come up and I got to do something with you or whatever, I will let them know. How many times man you don't do? My baby will call me. You know, like, okay, what's up at day? She will even hail you or video call or whatever. You know what? That's, bro, you got to stay like that. If not, man, these people will play you 10 for streets.
bruh.
Because if you make her your priority, as you invest time into her, she's not going to even get chance to go to follow anybody. They do DM back and forth or all those plenty things. You got to be very deliberate. Not obsessive, but just deliberate. Make it not be like, say, we come here to play. What are we doing? Let's all know. Obviously, get times where we say, okay, maybe you're not doing a community relations or whatever, you just want to play. You will make it very clear, say, oh boy, as I am, no, like this, I got to do you next week for like a 6-month conference. But if you just day for like 2 weeks before I go, if I come back, if you not be the same, you will let them know. That's how you does it, bro.
That one day, but man, forget, man. Like it's just this one now. This whole dynamic now for both sides now.
Yeah,
If
sure.
guy won't play, go play. If girl won't play, go play you. So because girl fit day follow you like that, bumper to bumper. But that's the thing, girls. That man, girl we could just sleep around. Plenty things happen. Just a damaged person or something. Because ordinarily, because ordinarily, girl, but when it comes to attention, no worry, the girl will receive the attention from those people. But say a girl literally sleep with you, it's very difficult for a girl to do that. Now, guys, of course, guy, if he sleep with you now, wake up tomorrow, he won't forget you. And why it is very difficult for a girl to actually give attention to. So I can understand what you're saying about if she don't make you priority, because it's very difficult for a girl to give two people the same attention. Possible. Yeah, no possible, because she dey give her whole emotion to him. You get, but for a guy, a guy go sleep with you now. The next second, you know, even ask your name before he sleep with you. If you don't forget you, don't move. You get, so stuff like that. But anyways, in general, though, I feel like girls have privileges like way more than guys do,
right?
Because guys have to
differ from place to place. So
yeah, guys have to earn whatever it is that they have for them to get to that level. Like for a guy, most girls say guys can have plenty girlfriends, blah blah blah. The society will say, but for you as a guy to get to that level where you be like, okay, I can have multiple girls. Oh boy, you don't put in the work now. You date A-list, but as a girl, guy, even if you date F,
if you are an A-list Nollywood actor now, for example, you can afford to, you know, shout out you, my guy.
I know.
I'm just saying,
So
I'm just saying.
that's what it is there. But whatever though, man, like whatever you think about this whole discussion, like who do you think has more privilege in society? You know, between guys, between girls, you know, who do you think has more privileges? So you can continue the conversation in the comment section. Like
And then Jackpot Gang, I beg, tell us on our experience.
Abi, how they be,
Tell us the stories
man.
about
Like
how
what's
you
up? Should
lost
we
your
marry
male,
and Jackpa
how you
or
lost your
calm down?
male privilege in the abroad. Okay.
You know. All right, man. See you next
All right, man.
time. Bye.
Boom.